Hello, it's another day to learn sign language, another day to talk with our fingers. I hope all students are gathered because we are going to review all the things we have been learning for the past weeks. Remember, next week will be the test. My name is Patience Ilozwe. I'm glad to be your teacher. I hope all students are seated. I have a lot of students. My students are beginning to grow. The class is beginning to grow. I have quite a number of students. And I want to quickly mention the name of some of the students I have on my register. If you're in class, simply say present and then take your seats. Chiamaka Onweni, are you there? If you're in, I guess you're saying present, please sit. Femi Alagbala. Femi is a naughty student. Femi makes all the noise in the class. He's regular, but he's a noise maker. Please, if you're sitting by Femi, stand, because it won't let you learn anything. Nike Kuyinu, Libi Ofem Oke, Saint Pat, Blessing Okoro, Vino Omobo, John Obuche, Chukuma Emeka, Gabriela Neni, Garuba, Christy Iheanacho, David, Dr. Martina Agberin. I hope you're watching. Say present. You need to see this doctor. And gladly, I'm her teacher. Please say present if you're in class. Okay, let's move on. Monsieur Abubakar, are you there? Then this old student, Bode Babalola. You must learn one or two signs today, okay? We have Nike. And then my favorite student, Matthew Wankwo. He's an old student too. Matthew, you must also learn something new today. Then I have Fumlola Odumosu, Faith Amanze, Destiny Uzu, Nike Kuinu. And there's this Nike, sorry, I don't have your surname, a new student. She was ill, but she's back with us. Nike, glad you could join us today. Okay, these are some of the students I have. If you didn't hear your name, that's because you've not tested me within 1 week. All of these ones I mentioned are those that have seen or tested, that have tested me or spoken with me within the past 1 week. So you need to test, you need to communicate with your teacher so that I'll know you're watching. Once again, you're welcome to the program. Next week, like I said, I'm going to test you on all the signs that I have taught. But today, we'll quickly go through most of the signs that have been taught so that if you have any questions or any sign that is not clear to you, you will call and then I'll put you through. The number to dial today has changed. The number you will dial is 081-256-37254. 081-256-37254. And of course, you are free to start calling now. If there's any sign that I have taught, these are 10th class. If there's any sign I have taught in the 9 classes that you don't get, please call now and let me put you through. While I wait for your call, I'll start the class by signing one of the signs I taught last, and that is, he loves you. There are some signs you just should not forget. Signs like, I love you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, you're beautiful. Some of these signs, you shouldn't just forget them because they are day-to-day signs. So let's start with, he loves you. He loves you. Remember how to sign he like a cap. And you point your index finger forward. He. And then love, which is affectionate. With a smile. Remember, you have to smile when signing love. And then you. He loves you. One more time. He loves you. And then the second sign, I love him. I love him. I. Remember, your I is your Y hand. This is Y hand, letter Y. Hello? Hello? Okay, we lost our student. This is I. Love. Who remembers how to sign him? Him and he shares the same sign, so it is this, and then you point forward. Libby, I hope you're watching. This is him, and this is also he. So together, let's sign, I love him. I love him. One more time. I love him. Okay, and the third one, how are your children? How are your children? Julie, I hope you're watching, because after this class, you're going to sign how are your children. You're going to ask that question in sign. So watch. How are your children? How? How? R, there's the R hand. You cross your finger on your mouth and you push out a little bit. Are your children? One more time. How are your children? And the next one, she's my mother. She's my mother. She. Femi, sign she. I know you're disturbing at this point. This is how to sign she. Your thumb on your cheek, and then you stroke it out, ending with the index finger pointing forward. She. Okay, she what? She's my mother. Okay, so she, the little finger on your mouth is not that difficult. On your mouth, and you push it forward a little bit. Is my, who remember the sign for mother? This way, and you flip. That's mother. So together, let's sign again. She is my mother. She is my and mother. Remember, the number to dial is changed. It is 081 256. Please let the number be permanent on the screen so that my students will get used to that. 081 256 37254. That's the number to dial today. And then ask for any sign that has been taught which you're not cleared with. If you want me to ask you some questions, you're also free to call and I'll ask you some questions, even though next week is our test week. Let's move on. We started with he loves you. I love him. Then I said, how are your children? How are your children? Okay, let's move on. My brother is a bachelor. How do we say that? My brother is a bachelor. All of these signs are the signs that we have learned in our previous class. Hello? Hello, we lost that. Okay, just keep trying. My brother is a bachelor. Hello? 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 We lost that. Okay, sorry, just keep trying. Keep trying. I know you're trying to call. Hopefully you get through. Now let's move on. My brother is a bachelor. My brother is a bachelor. My brother, remember it's a boy, and the sign for same. This sign means same. So we'll have boy and same together makes brother. My brother is, we omit the article A and just sign bachelor. Okay? From your right to your left. Together, let's say it again. My brother is a bachelor. My brother is a bachelor. And you remember was the last week? No, on Monday, a student called and asked how to sign, I want to marry you. For me, that's a very romantic way of asking a girl to marry you. Instead of saying, will you marry me? We have all the fashion we have been using. You kneel down, you bring rose, you take out. Why not say it in sign language? It's unique, isn't it? A student called last week and asked how to sign, I want to marry you. Shall we together again remind ourselves how to sign that? Hello?
Hello?
Please, can you reduce the volume of your television set?
Okay, it's down.
It's not down? A little more?
It's down now. It's down.
Okay, good. What's the name of this student?
My name is Letitia.
Sorry, what's the name? Hello? We lost that. I lost that. Sorry about that. Okay. Like I said, say I want to marry you in sign to the lady you want to get married to. And I can guarantee you the answer won't be no. It won't be no because it's unusual. So let's learn it together. I want to marry you. Okay, let's do it together again one more time. I want to marry you. If you're a guy and you're saying this to a lady, make sure you don't say it out. Just sign, okay? Don't interpret what you're saying. Let the girl be lost for a moment and ask what you're doing. Let's learn it together again. Interesting. Now let's move on. The next will be, you are my sweetheart. That's another romantic word which, works if you do it in sign. It works for me, so it would work for you. So let's learn it together. You are my sweetheart. You are my sweetheart. Do we take that again? You. Everyone should learn this. Everyone should learn it. And you should, well, don't say it to everyone. Say it to those, those you mean it to. So let's say it together. You are my sweetheart. You are, your R hand crossed on your mouth and you push out a little bit, are my, and then the sweetheart. Okay? You are my sweetheart. Then we have, what is your cousin's name? What is your cousin's name? What? With a facial expression that shows you're asking a question. What is your, any student to remind us, cousin? Birthday? Can you sign cousin? I doubt you can. I doubt you can. This is how to sign cousin. Your C hand, center part of your cheek, and then you wiggle. That's cousin. Cousin. So let's start again. What is your cousin's name? We'll start with your hand, your left hand with your index finger stroking. What? That's a question. What is your cousin's name? Okay, you might want to add a question mark after asking that question so that you drive home the point that you're asking a question, and that means you draw a question mark in the air. Let's take that again. What is your cousin's name? What is your cousin's name? And then I ask question mark. Okay, now let's move on. Is he your nephew? How do you ask that? Is he your nephew? We've signed is a couple of times. So which student will help us with is? Let's see the name on the register again. Let's see. Christy Ihanacho from Bonnie Camp. Can you sign is? Of course, it is the little finger on your mouth and then you push forward a little bit. Is. What about he? He. Chiamaka, can you sign he? Can you? This way, like a face cap, and you end with the index finger. One more time. He. What about your? Your. And then nephew. Hello? This is nephew. N hand. Do I have a student online? Okay. This is your N hand. This way. And then you wiggle. Yes, hello? Hello? Okay, I don't know if it is network. I don't know what the problem is, but the students are not getting through and it's critical. They need to ask questions. We really can't have a test if I'm not sure if all students understand the signs that have been so far taught. It wouldn't be fair to ask questions next week if you have one or two signs you're not cleared with. Okay, so if you don't get through today, we might have to postpone our test. Okay, so don't worry if you're not getting through to ask questions. Then next week we might have to postpone our test and still give you the chance to ask questions. Now let's move on. I just asked, is he your nephew? How do you sign that? The little finger on your mouth, you push forward a little bit, is he your, and then nephew. You wiggle your hand by the side of your forehead. That's nephew. So together is hello.
Hello, yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. The first student to get through, what's the name?
Okay, my name is Tony. I'm calling from Palo.
Tony.
Yes.
Tony who, please?
The Austin.
Tony.
Yes, Tony Austin. Tony
Austin, okay. Tony, do you have any sign that you're not cleared with?
I'd like to ask, I want you to demonstrate the stew is salty.
Again?
The stew is salty.
Is your stew salty? Is your stew salty?
Huh? Thank you.
Is your stew salty, Tony?
Of course.
I hope you don't want to tell that lady that her stew is salty. I hope you don't want to say that, okay? Tony, you're going to ask for the sign that have been taught on the show, please. I have taught a lot of signs. Please, can your question come from those signs because we'll be having a test probably next week. So is there any other thing you want to learn apart from your stew is salty? You're not good.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling. If there's no other sign, thanks for calling. Okay, don't go tell any lady her stew is salty. Okay, it's once in a while. It doesn't happen all the time. Now let's go back to class. Is he your nephew? Is he your nephew? And then we go on. This one I like so much. She's engaged. She's engaged. You want to tell a third party that that lady is engaged? How to say it in sign is this way. She. Remember your thumb on the cheek? If you struck out your thumb without pointing the index finger, do you remember what sign that is? Who remembers? This way, out, without pointing your index finger. What sign is that? Well, that will be next week to test you. It is girl. If you sign just this, it is girl. But if you sign this and point your index finger forward, that will be she. So let's do it together again. She. One more time. She is. Then engage. Your left hand face down. Your right hand on top of the fourth finger, you make a circular motion. That's engage. Okay, so together let's sign she is engaged. She is engaged. I understand a lot of students are trying to get through, but something is going wrong. Just keep trying. We'll take one more sign and then we'll quickly go for a break. There's a message I want you to read during the break. Then we'll come back and take more signs. Let's just take one more sign before the break. Okay, we take, he married the girl. He married the girl. Remember the sign for he, the cap, and the index finger pointing forward. He. One more time. He. They're married, if you remember, this way. Join together. Of course, that's how it's done in some churches or some place of worship. The two hands come together. That's married. Okay. So he married thee. Now, in sign language, you can also omit that definite article the. Okay, so you can just sign he married girl. The person you're signing to will affix that the in the tense. Okay, so we're going to sign he married the girl, but we omit the definite article the. Is that okay? Let's do it together. He married the girl. One more time. He married the girl. Okay, we'll take a short break. Before we went for break, I signed, let's see, he married the girl. That's the last sign, he married the girl. So let's sign it together again. He, the girl. One more time. He, remember, if you sign this alone without pointing the index finger, what you're saying is boy. And of course, boys don't marry. Men do. So, he. This, and then you point your index finger. He married the girl. One more time. He married the girl. Okay, quickly. I have an adult child. I have an adult child. I. Remember, I taught you have. Have. Your two hands come in the center of your hand together. Have, and that's an article which is going to be omitted, and adult. Remember we learned adults 2 classes ago. Adults, then you have child. I have, an is omitted, adult, child. Now let's go to greetings. Very, very important. How do you say good morning, good afternoon, good evening? I've been meeting some students. They've been missing the sign. Some want to sign good morning. They're saying good evening. So let's remind ourselves once again how to sign good morning. Good morning is your hand on your mouth, and then you place it on your upturned hand, which is good. Good morning. One more time. Good morning. Then afternoon. Good afternoon. Again, good afternoon. And then good evening. Good evening. Good evening. And on that note, we come to the end of today's class. Well, quickly, you are beautiful. That's one sign I don't want you to forget too. You are beautiful. Say that to all the ladies out there. And I'll see you on Monday again to teach you more signs. Until then, let your hands keep talking with your keep talking with your fingers. I mean to say, keep talking with your fingers until next week when I'll be here again to teach you more signs. Have a wonderful day.